Today we're going to be working on multiplying by 10, 100, and 1000. And we're going to use base 10 blocks to help us understand why when we multiply, we can do it in our head much easier than we can on paper using a pencil. So our objective today is I can multiply any number by 10, 100, and 1000 using mental math. We're going to start out using the base 10 blocks of 10, and we know that multiplication is simply repeated addition. So if I had 5 times 10, that is basically saying I need 5 groups of 10. So I have 1 there, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 5 groups of 10. Now if I were to add them, I could count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So my answer would be 50. I'll write the answer here. Now I can also think of it as if I see a number that's multiplied by 10, I can think to myself, well, 5 times 1 equals 5. And then I can just bring that 0 over here because I'm not multiplying it by 1, I'm multiplying it by 10. But it's easier to multiply 5 times 1 than to think in your head 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You just think 5 times 1 is 5. So now we'll do something a little bit harder. I think I'm going to leave this up here. I'm just going to move this over here. Oops, so that you can compare. Now if I had 5 times 100, I could think the same thing. 5 times 1 equals 5. And I could just bring those 2 zeros over. Now here's why that works. If I have 5 groups of 100, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can count them by 100. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And that's my answer, 500. So when you're multiplying by tens, hundreds, or thousands, you can think to yourself, I can multiply the first number by the 1 and then just put the zeros on the end of it. I know it seems like we shouldn't be doing that, but this is why it works. Now, if I had 5 times 20, I wonder what that would look like. Okay, so now I have to shift my thinking a little bit. Now I have 5 times 20. So I'm going to think to myself, well, I know that 5 times 2, get my pen out, 5 times 2 equals 10. And I can put that 0 on the end of it. So my answer should be 100. Now let's use base 10 blocks to show us why this works. This is saying I have 5 groups of 20, and 20 is 2 tens. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that's why that works. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I have 5 groups of 20. If I had 30, 5 times 30, I would have 5 groups of 30, and I would just add 10 more to each one. And now it's getting so that when we think about it this way, it's getting a little bit harder to think of it in our head. But it would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. So 5 times 30 is 150. But you could think of it and do it faster in your head by thinking 5 times 3 equals 15, and then I put the 0 on the end of that. So then it would be 15 plus a 0, so 150. That's why that works.